Ah, yes, that time of the year where the Golden Globes nominations comes rolling out. Then the Oscar nominations come rolling out. Then everybody goes rushing to see these nominated movies that we haven't seen all year because we didn't know about them. At least I didn't, right? I can't be the only one who does this, right? Who waits for the nominations to come out to see what the good movies are. No, I'm the only one. Cool. All right. Anyway, imagine this tragedy: a dead baby right next to you in your own bed. If you can't tell, yes, I am reading this. I didn't. I'm reading this off a piece of paper. I didn't need to tell you that. Doesn't everybody do that? Anyway, baby dead next to you in bed. She was just in your arms crying. The sign of a healthy baby ready to see a completely new and fresh world. But with this joy comes the heartache of death. Am I J.K. Rowling yet? No? Okay. The baby is turning blue in your arms and begins to stop breathing. You hear the sirens in the distance as your baby's life starts to disappear from her eyes. You're crying tears of confusion and fear. The midwife is scared, terrified of what's going to happen next. Your husband is running out to the street, waving the ambulance down, trying to get them niggas in the crib. This is Pieces of a Woman. The movie follows Martha, played by Vanessa Kirby, and Sean, played by now canceled Shia LaBeouf, after the sudden and tragic death of their newborn baby. During the first sequence of this movie made me feel kind of uneasy and sort of hopeful. Uneasy because I was eating food during the birth scene, and if you watch this movie, I was feeling uneasy. I couldn't eat food, but other than me eating, it made me feel uneasy because Vanessa Kirby does such an amazing job of portraying herself as a mother in labor. You can feel the pain she has with every single contraction through the screaming and kind of feel from moans and groans she has from walking to the bathroom to sitting in the bathtub to getting out of the bathtub to walking to her bedroom to laying down in her bed. You can feel the pain she's going through in this labor process, and you can tell that something is awry. You can tell that you should be, on the edge of your seat, kind of, and scared for this baby that's about to be born. But I was obviously hopeful on the other side because you think you're about to see the birth of a healthy and strong baby. Now, the cause of death isn't stated during the movie, but it's led to believe that the midwife, played by Eva Woodwards, aka Jackie from House of Cards. If I can do a Frank Underwood accent right now, I would do one.
Granted, sir, we had a deal, Jackie.
Your old foghorn leghorn accent. But her name is Molly in this film, Pieces of a Woman. It's believed to be her fault why the baby died. Okay, now let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion. I think this movie was Oscar bait. Now, don't get me wrong. There is nothing wrong with little Oscar bait. But you have to do it right. All your characters have to have depth behind them. They have to have emotional weight behind them. You have to give me a reason to care about all of these other characters. I only cared about one character in this movie, Vanessa Kirby's character. She did an amazing job. She had an amazing performance. That first scene was fucking gripping. It had me. The fucking movie had me. Those first 30 minutes had me. But after that, it kind of lost me. And that's not due to any of the actors or actresses in this movie. I think that's kind of due to the writing and the direction this movie was taken in. I feel like there could have been a more emotional emphasis on this movie. They told me the mom had dementia. We didn't really care about the mom having dementia. They said Sean was sleeping with his lawyer cousin. We really didn't care about Sean sleeping with his lawyer cousin. The only things we cared about were Vanessa Kirby and her relationship with Sean. We cared about the drift that happened between them after the baby died. We cared about the emotions that were going on between them. Well, at least I keep saying we. I cared about the emotions that went on between Sean and Martha's characters. I loved how Vanessa Kirby portrayed her emotions as a mother who lost her child. She's very she portrayed herself as very what's the word for it? She was very cold, I guess. She turned her back on her family, I guess. She didn't want any help emotionally. She wanted to deal with it herself on her own timing, at her own pace. On the other hand, Sean was more explosive. He was more emotional than Vanessa. Um, Martha. He wanted that. He wanted that feeling of love. He wanted to have that baby in his arms. He wanted to keep the nursery intact. He wanted to keep the pictures of the baby up on the fridge, while Martha wanted to take them down and forget about it. Those things I liked. I liked the relationship aspects between Martha and Sean, but everything else was it was okay. I didn't really care about the midwife after the first scene. I thought they were going to play on the criminal charges, the case, I guess, more about how she supposedly was criminally liable for the baby dying, but they didn't play it on it as much as I thought they would. Instead, they focused more on the mother and sister. They focused on those two relationships, which is fine, but they just weren't as emotionally gripping as I thought that they were going to be, I guess. Other than that, I guess that's kind of all I got, really. Uh, Movie was good, as I said. It's not anything terrible, but again, Vanessa Kirby, wonderful job, amazing performance. Everybody else was okay to good. Um, I guess I'd give this movie a 7.4 out of 10, I guess. Yeah, 7.4 out of 10. Wasn't great, but it was good. Thank you for watching A Novice Film Perspective, a Noti Thoughts production. Bye.